Alrighty, guys, welcome to another episode of the Marked4Life Wrestling Podcast. My name is Jeff Bailey.
And I'm Jerry Jones. Happy Festivus, by the way.
This guy.
Everyone. Happy Festivus.
Happy Merry Festivus.
That's right.
Happy Christmas, happy everything, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa.
Yes.
Happy Boxing Day, whatever it is you do in your part of the world. Happy holidays.
Yes, indeed.
And speaking of happy holidays, we are getting some gifts in the wrestling world from our friends at AEW, and oh my lord, what a wrestling show you got, Jerry. What'd you think of your Christmas present in the first match?
You know what? I mean, even though we expected it to happen,
kind of expected this,
but it's just like every good Christmas when you get the gift that you wanted,
right?
And it was even better than what you had hoped. That's what it felt like for me.
I felt like we got it. It was a little interesting too, because the whole Cole didn't exactly seem like this wasn't the present I was talking about. I got you guys, spa days. And they left together and everything like that, but that's one thing that's cool about AEW is their canon is everything in past has happened. So yes, your feud with each other in WWE after Undisputed Era and it kind of ended is real, is legit.
Yeah.
So them not coming necessarily being best of friends right away, but they clearly were ready to stand tall in the ring and put the best friends in orange down and look just like the Undisputed Era.
Yeah, I think what I liked, I like how they handled it, because what it also tells me is that the way that I'm interpreting their storytelling is like, Bobby is like got a little bit of agency here too. Bobby's like, hey, you know what? You got your guys,
bro. I
got my guy.
I'm bringing my guy.
Yeah.
And guess what? My guy is sadistic and violent.
Yes. So,
and we're an amazing tag team. So, if this doesn't look like Adam Cole versus Undisputed versus Red Dragon versus Super Click versus
a
lot of push and pull with Adam, I think it's going to be awesome. And then I hope it culminates with the trios. Kenny comes back. Maybe we're crowning a trios champion with the match.
You're pushing for that trios title, huh?
Dude, I think it's a matter of time. Other companies, the trios belt is like super celebrated. So yeah. I don't know. And this AEW is so faction heavy. It's ridiculously faction heavy. And how do you not have, MJFTR literally built for this?
Yeah.
Kenny and the Bucks built for it. Adam and the Bucks built for it. There's just so many combinations of three guys, three awesome wrestlers to put together, and give them some gold give them some gold and make it matter.
Here's my thing with Kenny, though. My thing with Kenny is obviously he's held tag team gold, but I want to see him competing for singles gold.
Oh yeah.
I want to see him.
But at the same time, can't have the belt all the time.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
And we got a huge story payoff when he lost it. So I'm thinking when him getting it back is gonna be it needs to be a big moment too. I think it needs to be. I think he needs to have a big rivalry with whoever has the belt.
Yeah. Can I just say the match itself
with Adam Cole,
fantastic.
With Adam in orange?
Oh yeah.
Oh God, yes.
That match was electric, man.
It's just clearly one of those things you're kind of wishing for. You wish for these kind of dream matches when somebody was in another company, and you kind of wish like, oh man, I'd love to see Adam Cole wrestle this guy. Oh yeah, you got to see it. It's pretty awesome. And they really, really kind of seemed to, they really wrestled it very well. They told a great story that basically as soon as one got one up, gets the other one up. They played pretty even.
Oh yeah.
And it did take, O'Reilly, they couldn't finish each other off. There were so many false finishes, him kicking out of Panama Sunrise, or whatever you want to.
My apologies, everyone. I just froze. Oh, I'm back.
Yeah.
No, my computer had synced up to another signal point in the house. And I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? No. Don't do that.
There we go.
But yeah, I thought, I mean, here's, I love the way AEW starts shows is they're hitting you with what could be the main event right from the jump.
They give you a hot match that gets you invested in the show right away.
Yeah.
Instead of a forever long talking segment to open things up, it's a wrestling show. Let's have a wrestling match right away. I mean, is that the idea? Let's do that.
Yeah, and really good storytelling. They grab you within the first 5-10 minutes, and that's what AEW did again.
Absolutely.
On Dynamite they grabbed us, and even though they had kind of telegraphed what we might get, it still wasn't exactly what we thought. It was even better than what I thought it was going to be. Yes. It was fantastic. It was masterful to me. I thought the match was masterful. The introduction of Kyle O'Reilly was great. That whole awkwardness of Adam Cole.
Oh, so awkward.
I was like, man,
you can't then generating that kind of awkward tension. You can't buy it. It's either guys in the ring have enough charisma to pull it off and make you believe it, or they don't. Mm-hmm. These guys do. And so it's palpable and real.
Yeah.
And that's why I thought there was so much tension. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's going to make for this to be something amazing.
Yeah.
Especially down the line,
100%, man. Yeah.
And then, it gets the Hangman coming out to talk to Tony Schiavone.
Man.
And gets only a few sentences in.
And here comes our guy.
And here comes Dragonson. And basically says, you're an entitled millennial. What a punk. Entitled millennial bitch.
Yeah. I loved it,
because held on to your belt and you're disappointed.
Yeah. That was some great heat, man. I loved it. And I'm like,
I thought it was thoughtful.
The entitled really cowboy. Oh, it's really good.
And, I don't know if I love the judges concept. There's about a million different kind of gimmick matches you can probably do here, or must have an outcome. Well, then you just do a no time limit, or do a submission match. Do whatever you need. I quit match, whatever.
Yeah.
But the judges.
Yeah.
And who you gonna have come do this thing?
Right. Well.
Ric Flair. Are you gonna have Ric Flair come and do it, or Bret Hart? Somebody who's actually. I mean, if you're gonna get some 60-minute icon who's done super long matches, Sting.
Yeah.
Who do you gonna have judge this thing?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the judge thing, but I'm just excited that we're not gonna have to wait long for the rematch, that they're coming out, that TBS era is getting going with a bang.
I mean, you're gonna get a TBS title. I assume they're gonna crown the TBS champion that night. Plus you're gonna get that match as well.
Oh Jesus, we'll talk about that. I'm a little salty. I'm just gonna put it out there right now.
I'm feeling pretty
Everybody.
salty about that match too, but
Oh man.
we'll get there.
You
But
talk
I
about
kind of like,
we
but
need
I
yeah.
kind of like, again, I kind of like thinking this is, again, I mean, Danielson is putting Page over in a big way. And this is, this program is designed to make Hangman look really, really good. So I'm buying in.
Yeah.
But nothing that Hangman is showing so far, as far as the promo work getting to these matches, is really very delivering very much.
Well,
Yes, the match delivered. And yes, this match I'm guaranteeing is probably going to deliver too, because they clearly have really good chemistry with each other. But I'm kind of disappointed with the promo game with our champion.
well, yeah, and thank God for Danielson. I mean, he carried that. I mean, he carried
Yes,
that promo.
carried the whole segment.
Oh, 100%. And but you know what? I mean, we have to remember he's a new champion. Like
Right?
it's gonna take him some time to really, kind of own the fact that he is the man. And so part of it for me is, I think Danielson is a little bit right. But I think part of his character arc is someone that has a little bit of that self-doubt, a little bit of angst. And I feel like, I can relate to imposter syndrome. In a way I can relate to Hangman, and like he's got the title. He holds the title, but that is not the same as being the champ.
Right.
And where that's what he needs to step into. He holds the title, but he's not the champion. He's got to believe.
I hope
and know
so.
that he's a champion.
Because it's gonna take. I mean, I want my champ to be a badass,
Right?
And that's just kind of like where I come from, and I still think of. I have really ingrained moment in my heart, my head is Bret Hart walking out with that title and the sunglasses, and he's standing there with a microphone saying, I am the excellence of execution. I'm the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. And that burns in my head still to this day. You know what I mean? And I just think, I want my champ to be confident and be like, I am this. This is mine. I am the champion.
Right. I mean, to throw another sport in, I want my champion to be like Tom Brady. When Tom Brady steps on the field, the thing that he knows is the thing that I am the best. And that you will have to be perfect. And not only do you have to be perfect, you have to hope that I am not. And your problem is that I always am.
Right.
So good luck.
I've despised the fact that guy has thrown the prettiest football I've ever seen for 20 freaking years now.
He's the best. And it's beyond debate. Like you said, Bret Hart. And that's why I love, to me, Kenny Omega. For me, don't jump down my throat, wrestling fans. He's the closest thing I've seen to the Hitman since the Hitman. For me,
yes, cleaner and the Hitman are very, I think, very kind of, and gleaning along the same lines.
And so I'm hoping that Hangman can turn into that. But a part of it for me with the promo, make me believe it. Like I would like for him to just be like, hey, you know what? This will be the last time you ever come out of that locker room and interrupt me. You do it again, and I'm gonna
stomp a mud hole in your ass.
Yeah, But here's the thing. But Jeff, I can't believe you when you're driving a Tesla with horn. I'm sorry.
Horns?
I'm sorry. I can't. Could you? I'm just saying, if you're coming out saying your cowboy shit, you think Stone Cold Steve Austin? You think Stone Cold has a Tesla? Could you see The Rock?
Yeah, I think he has like I think he got he's a Ford guy like through and through.
Yeah.
And I think they did. I'm pretty sure they sent him one of those Ford electric trucks.
Oh, you. I don't even want to say on the show what Stone Cold probably did with that truck, but it's this is a more kind of a dysfunctional family show, but we still can't talk about what he would do. But I'm just saying, get rid of the Tesla. Stop whining and crying about how disappointed you are, and get out there.
I'm all right with just keep the Tesla, and instead of whatever, when Bryan Danielson is talking to you like this, walk up that ramp and slap the taste out of his mouth. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah.
At some point, you just like, enough's enough. I'm just gonna walk down that ramp and I'm gonna fucking pop you one. How about that? Because I'm the champ and you're not. And
but the problem is that he doesn't believe that he can whip Bryan Danielson's ass.
The doubt is true, huh?
The doubt is true. And as a fan, I could say I don't. So
he's already having Rocky III problems.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And there's going to be a second title defense.
Ooh, good call out. I love that. I love that comparison. So Danielson is kind of almost the Clubber Lang.
Yes.
Okay. I like that.
There's no, he instead of shoving, pushing Mickey, he just destroyed most of your friends.
Right. Yeah.
And did terrible things to all of your friends.
Yeah.
Well, you just kind of sat there and watched. By the way.
You just kind of just took it.
Just kind of saying.
But yeah, but overall, the spot I thought was fantastic. I give Danielson an A+.
Yes.
For carrying that. But yeah, it was good. And I think Hangman's getting better. He's getting better.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So we go backstage and we got MJ, FTR, the Pinnacle hanging out with and Wardlow and Spears are back there, and Wardlow's clearly very dejected. And not really barely even in the camera shots. But the whole and then they did kind of mention he didn't show up with the booze. But he did agree he pays him a lot of money and he's supposed to watch his back, and that's what he's supposed to do. So then we get the Wardlow Sean Dean match.
Yeah,
if we can even call it much of that.
I think I've about had enough of these squash matches, man, to be honest with you.
You don't like the Powerbomb Symphony?
I get it why they're doing it, and it's setting up the story, but I want to see the guy wrestle. Okay. Like I know.
Yes, I want to see Grade A sirloin slap a beef bitch match.
But I
get this guy in a match with Hobbs. Get this guy in a match with, with Luchasaurus. I mean, there's not a ton of big guys in AEW.
No.
But get him to wrestle one of them. Miro, God's sakes. I mean, one of these big guys.
Yeah. I do think he and with the chairman, they're doing some good storytelling. I just want to see more wrestling.
And Spears, I got to admit that the whole thing with the chair shots and like the orgasmic release he seems to get from it is terrifying and pretty. I mean, it's pretty good too.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of some sickly good stuff. The best, just absolutely crazy guys are the guys you don't know.
Right. Yeah.
That clearly pushes his buttons.
Yeah, but I think we're going to see a turn here
pretty quick.
I'm
I
guessing
don't.
during the TBS could be that first night.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's so many big events coming. It's tough
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah.
And then we get another big event moment with your favorite manager, Dan Lambert, out in the crowd with the Men of the Year. And I gotta admit, this promo just worked, and it was good, and it made total sense. It's like you want me to come out here. He's like, yeah, I mean, you need me to get Cody Rhodes over because he's the only person. I'm more of an asshole than,
You know what I
he's more of
love?
an asshole than me.
I love that basically Dan, they're like, hey Dan, why don't you go out and just say what a lot of fans are thinking?
Put Cody over.
Yeah. I like in what you've been saying is like, as long as he's not with those MMA guys,
Mhm.
it's great. I do want to hear more
Right
from Ethan and Sir, Scorpio. I just think they're so good on the mic.
Here's my thoughts. You know who needs a mouthpiece and who's soon to be hopefully free of whatever else is Wardlow.
Right.
Why not have Dan Lambert be Wardlow's mouthpiece? That I can buy. I'll buy that.
Yeah. I'm just trying to imagine a Dan Lambert MJF promo.
Oh,
Who could be the biggest asshole?
MJF.
Yeah.
MJF would win that in a heartbeat.
I love that.
It might be fun. But I mean, actually, like I said, if you're not going to involve those dudes, I'm okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that that's what some people like about it. So, I don't like it, but
Yeah. Yeah. I love that they're using Dan Lambert to really be the guy promoting the Sammy Cody match.
Right.
So I'm like, what is
Sammy or Cody?
What is that saying? So to me, I'm like, what is that saying about you guys, Sammy and Cody, where you need Lambert to do your mic work for you? He's got to sell. He's got to sell your match. So step your game up, boys. That's all I'm saying. Step it up.
It's undeniable that Cody is just, whatever he's doing is interesting, and I'm interested in it, and I want to know what he's doing. Do I like it? No. Oh, I mean, it's one of those things. Do I maybe like it? Absolutely not. But I mean, it does keep you captivated. It does keep you interested.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you like him or hate him,
or
hate like him, like most of us do.
Right.
It keeps you into it.
Yeah, I'm never bored. I'm never bored with Cody. So
then we go back to the Dr. Britt Baker holiday party.
Well, it's good to see that Jamie. It seems like she and Jamie are kind of
yes, clearly
working some things out. Yeah.
What'd you think with Tony trying to get the mistletoe?
Yeah. I love that story. I love this storyline.
I love Tony, just bagging Adam in the match too.
Yeah.
Like his hair, his greasy hair and all this stuff. And it's so good. And I it's just I think it's so funny. And I think that Tony's being clearly a very good sport about doing a character on TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is pretty funny.
Yeah.
And you get the Christmas Story reference in there.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to this match. The Riho Jamie Hayter match was so good.
It was awesome. It was, yeah.
I mean, I think it's one of the better women's matches that they've had on TV in a while. And I just I hope that there's good things in the future for Jamie quickly.
I think so.
That's just me personally.
I think she's going to be in the title picture I'm hopefully in that
hopefully
TBS
soon.
title picture soon.
I don't know. I think
Or
she almost might be in the championship.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the women's title. So
yeah, because I think that Britt is going to defeat Riho. Not to jump too far ahead, but it'll be interesting to see what's next for the Good Doctor.
Oh yes, I mean she's one of the most compelling characters on TV. So
yeah,
of course we're going to be interested in her. So then we, of course, there's a little bit more talk about the Owen Hart Cup, and man, how awesome was it to watch this old footage of Owen and
in New Japan,
just get in New Japan, and then get to hear from people who actually worked with them.
Mm-hmm.
Also get to hear from people who he was an inspiration to. We unfortunately have the sad history of living in the city where he died. And drive by that arena. I drive by the arena regularly, once a week or so.
Mm-hmm.
But it does bring back memories of just what a talent he was, and how incredible some of these matches were. Some of these matches he had with his brother were, I mean, talk about maybe some of the greatest matches ever wrestled.
Yeah.
They were just so good, and I think they brought out the best in each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this tournament, and I think it's gonna produce some really, really, really good matches.
Oh, it's gonna have to. I think it's gonna be great. And here's what I will say. And I know I'm a broken record, but to me, in order to be in that tournament, you have to know how to wrestle.
Oh yeah.
I don't want squash matches in this tournament on either side of the ledger.
Absolutely not.
But I'm not going to talk about that wrestler tonight because, well, maybe I will. I don't know. But because there's another wrestler that we'll be discussing here shortly that I don't believe should belong in that tournament, but will probably be in that tournament. So,
all right. So we move on from the to the next match. We have Nyla Rose versus Ruby Soho in the semifinals of the women's TBS tournament. I think the story of this match is told in three easy parts. There's the start, the fan, and then the finish. Two of these parts were awful. The finish was actually pretty good.
The finish was great. That I was like, whoa, okay.
But the start was so bad.
Listen, and I know that wardrobe malfunctions happen, but that was embarrassing.
Tell me you didn't check this about the wristbands out with the jacket before you went out to the ring.
That was a very
wow.
It I guess I will just say, as a fan and as now someone who is does wrestling commentary, it really altered and I would say ruined the viewing experience for me, watching Nyla having to basically help
pull Ruby's arm out of her socket.
Right. Because to me, I'm like, if I were running the match, I'd be like, just choke her out with it. Choke her out with the jacket, and just be done.
Let's go home.
Yeah. So it got off to a wonky start. I will also say, I don't know if the fans really popped. They didn't pop for Ruby the way most crowds do. I didn't feel that when she came out.
Felt like her entrance was almost a little rushed.
It was.
Didn't it?
Yeah, it was very rushed. And I don't know if they were like running, if they felt like they were a little behind schedule, but it did feel like her entrance was rushed. I thought that too.
Think so.
Yeah.
Somebody thought that I think, why'd they give the last match 30 minutes? I'm like, well, I think clearly they gave the last match 30 minutes. Why they gave the last match 30 minutes? Because it was amazing.
Yeah.
But let's not skip ahead that far.
Right.
But I think the start was just so rough.
Yeah.
And and then of course we have the horrific fan, with
Oh my goodness.
one of the most
Oh
disgraceful
God.
signs maybe ever seen on television. And then I felt like it took them a long time to deal with it,
Yeah.
and but I hope that they kick that guy out, and
Yeah. That was
and
awful.
anyone who feels that way, um about transgender people or gay
Mhm.
people or people of color or anything like that, it's just not welcome
Yeah.
anywhere.
I mean,
um
it's like, why would you, like, of all the signs you could have made, all the matches that you were
this
there
is
for,
this
that's
is what you want to do.
yeah. I mean, that really, it's
It's
embarrassing. I was embarrassed.
go play in traffic,
I
dude.
was embarrassed for humanity with that sign. I really was, man. Not just beyond being a wrestling fan and being embarrassed.
There's a lot to be embarrassed about
Yeah.
humanity right now.
Yeah. It's
Let's just add that to the
add it to the
total.
list, man. But yeah, so that you have that fan.
Uh,
Um,
but then we get to the finish of the match, and it actually is a pretty decent finish. We get the big false finish with the Nyla bomb, and
yeah.
and Ruby is selling the hell out of the shoulder,
Hmm.
and all the stuff, and and then the top rope riot kick, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what she calls it now, but it was good.
It was great.
I'm just, you know,
I just,
I want to see Nyla win this match. I don't want to see Ruby win.
well, I think what you and I both want to see, and I think most wrestling, well, I shouldn't say most, because I saw people rating this match. I saw some giving it a 9.3. I mean, it was a good match. Don't get me wrong. It's just that Nyla to me is such,
9-3
or something like, but Nyla is such just a exponentially superior in-ring performer. Like, it just,
right.
I'm sorry. It's hard for me. And the problem, I mean, the other problem I had with the outcome, unless Tony's throwing some other curveball at us that we won't know about until tomorrow night, it kind of let me know what the final is going to be for the championship. And sometimes it happens. Sometimes,
You see your sure it's gonna be Jade? No.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it happens. It happens in World Cup. It sometimes happens in Euro Cup, where the semifinalists were the ones that you thought were the two best teams, and then they end up playing, in the kind of the third place game. Sometimes the two best don't make it to the finals. I don't believe the two best in the women's division will make it to the finals here. Hopefully one of the two best in this tournament will make it, but it's not, it looks like the opposite,
right,
of having the two best in the championship is going to happen on the TBS debut. And so
I really feel like you can't. I mean, how do you cannot give Ruby the belt? So clearly it's gonna
wait,
be
you
Thunder or
can't,
Jade.
you
I
can't,
can't. No.
why not?
She just got here, and they're gonna give her gold already. I mean, that would be me if I was a wrestler in the back. I'd be out. I'd be like, let's hit the bricks. Let's get the fuck out of here. Why am I hanging out at the company?
Would you be
They're gonna hire people. They're gonna hire, as long as you all right. The next ship jumper clearly gets a belt. That's not a precedent. Really,
I mean, would you be as upset with, you've got someone who is homegrown but is so super green? Do we put a title on that
Thunder?
person?
That's why you give the title to Thunder.
Well, but what I would say is, like, yes, if the goal was
pop, you want a big pop, you want a pop, Thunder Rosa has a pop, and so is Ruby.
But if you want Thunder Rosa,
that's a terrible precedent.
If you want Thunder Rosa to be the champion, you should have had Nyla winning the match. You get a face and a heel, who I believe were the two best in this tournament. I'm afraid that, honestly, I think that if it is Jade, it's going to have to be a squash match. Like, please just spare us. Like, just,
if it's gonna be that, I want Cena Lesnar SummerSlam. I want Jade to literally beat her up for like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
And I want to see her German suplex her like 25 times.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry for being the Debbie Downer, the negative Nancy on this one. The outcome of the match just bothered me because I'm like, man, I already know what we're gonna get now. And I'm like, this is not how you start the TBS era. And I know it's that bitch show, but still, I have a problem with it.
I mean, I really don't. I just want more. I mean, if it's going to be her, then we've got to see it. There's clearly a level that we're not seeing, a gear we haven't seen yet, something else that needs to come out, right? I mean, I think that.
Well, you show me what you got against Thunder, because Thunder's going to bring it.
I have nothing but high hopes. I think she should win the belt because I feel like it gives it some legitimacy. She has not a champion in AEW, but she's a champion in NWA. Champion other places. I think it gives a little bit more legitimacy to the title, and someone who's wrestled 40 plus matches with the company, I think it's a little more rewarding to put the belt on her.
I would agree, but I think Tony may have other plans, man.
Oh, I mean, clearly.
I mean,
that's why they get to run the show and we don't. We just get to watch.
Guys. And I know I keep saying it. I'm not a Jade hater. I have high expectations for her, and I want to see that potential fulfilled.
There is, a gifted athlete. You can't, there's some things you don't get to book, you can't buy. And she's got some of those things, but you can't buy experience.
Right.
You can't buy, that ring generalship that you need.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So hopefully she's working very, very hard on it.
I'm sure.
That's what the hope is.
I would imagine. My understanding is that she's been working very hard. I mean, clearly, she's dedicated to being in top physical condition, and I would imagine she's putting that same kind of work
within the ring.
But
in the training facility.
Let's put it all together. That's together.
What you have to do. I hope. Like I said, I think that she needs to be working in matches in dark regularly. She should be wrestling like on dark all the time.
She should have a Danielson type schedule.
Yeah,
like just wrestling all the time.
Might as well.
All the time.
Can't hurt anything.
Yeah.
So we go from there to the Malachi Griff match. And I've not gotten to see Malachi's entrance in a minute. And God, it is so good. It is maybe one of the best entrances in wrestling.
Yeah.
It's sinister, it's dark, it's terrifying, it's menacing. It can only probably seem horrifying to people who are out in the ring if he's coming out, but Griff comes out and Griff has got a head of steam, man.
Griff impressed me. Even though he got the crap kicked out of it, he impressed me. He did. I thought he made the most out of what he was there to do.
Just got his head kicked right in the first thing.
God. Yeah.
Just gets the tar beat out of him.
Yeah.
And that sit down Boston Crab with a deep lock in like that is nasty looking.
Yeah.
And I kind of liked him using the submission. And then, Homeboy's coming in there. Pillman Jr. in for the save and for his trouble.
he got he got his face kicked in too.
That looked so legit hard.
Oh man.
Oh,
I mean,
hey,
I felt like I could feel it. I
oh,
was
I
like,
felt like
oh
I felt. Oh, yeah, man, I felt like got kicked in the face here. Yeah,
yeah,
that was ooh,
yeah.
ooh,
You know,
brutal, brutal.
I feel like that Malachi Black of I don't know if there's another superstar that gets the most out of his time on screen as Malachi Black. It's just
Yes,
magic from start to finish, man. The guy
doesn't need to
just
say much, doesn't need to
no.
do much. It just conveys the power of darkness.
Hmm.
And I mean, if you have not ever watched an interview with him, I highly recommend it. Watch his AEW Unrestricted or whatever. Watch any interviews with him. He is quite an interesting character, and he is someone who just pours himself so 100% into his character and
Mm,
everything that this guy, he is a full bore 100%er,
mm,
and I can only the deep depraved depths of that the House of Black is going to go, or I
yeah,
think it's going to be really, really, really good.
yeah.
I think he's setting himself up to be one of the next great villains in wrestling
Mm.
ever.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's too bad
Uh
Vince didn't know how to use them because Tony sure
literally
as hell's figured it out.
walked up to him in a hallway one day and said, I just don't know what to do with you.
Mm,
Let
yeah,
him be himself. That's what you do.
yeah,
But that's something Vince McMahon doesn't know how to do.
hmm,
We've
yeah,
seen it nothing but time and time again. Look at these guys: Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole. Don't know what to do with these guys. How
yeah,
do you not know what to do with these guys? You put them on TV and let them wrestle.
yeah.
That's the crying shame of the whole thing. You put them on TV and you let them wrestle.
Well,
Oh,
but
what a concept!
Warren Buffett, his rule of thumb is like only invest in the things that you know. And I think Vince, I think it's almost like a sign of I don't know, novelty or originality when Vince doesn't know what to do with you. It means that like you're cut from a different mold. And he doesn't mean it that way. He's thinking, I can't turn you into The Rock. I can't turn you into John Cena. I can't turn you into Roman Reigns. And he's like, if I can't figure out how to do that, then I don't know. But really, what
How
I
to draw
hear
your
is,
money,
yeah, like you're so other that it's going to take someone with a different creative vision
right?
to maximize that. And so, I mean, I will say this. So as much as we, or I'll use I language, have critiques of WWE, um, they're the reason why I know some of these names. Like I wasn't into Ring of Honor. I wasn't into really New Japan. Like I found these guys through WWE. So I have to take my hat off to say, well, at least thank you for trying to figure out
Right.
what you might be able to do. And there's no shame. Well, actually, there is a lot of shame when the crowd is popping for Adam Cole. There's kind of shame in not knowing what to do with that.
Right.
That's got to be an embarrassment for him, for sure. Nothing says that the wrestling business has I don't feel like the wrestling business has just passed Vince McMahon by. I think the future of wrestling has run Vince over and has passed him by. I mean, like Vince, it's over, buddy. I love you. I respect you. You're the greatest. You're the GOAT. You're the greatest to ever do it.
I mean, I
But
hate to say it, but if anything doesn't prove that point more, look at the main event of Dynamite last night.
oh, yeah.
And let's dig into this. I mean, all right, MJFTR comes out, and oh my god, I love this. Love them. They come out together. They got the
The
yellow
matching,
gear.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, looks great. Love that new gigantic $100,000 Dynamite ring.
Mhm.
And then hit Sting's music,
Yeah.
and oh my God, it's just like the glory begins.
Yeah.
Sting is rocking some CM Punk themed face
That was
paint.
awesome. That was so cool, man.
And it's like, all right, it can't get any better than this, right?
Yeah.
And then Darby's rocking the black and pink.
Yep.
It's still got a Sting, old
Yeah.
homage to the black and pink. And it can't get any better than that, right?
And then
And
here
now
comes CM Punk.
and now comes CM Punk in full bore Surfer Sting gear.
Yeah.
With the fill face paint. Oh man.
It was like, it was just like,
and,
it was a love
and
fest.
literally rocking the Clash of the Titans
Yeah.
O2, but with the Chicago flag intertwined into the Scorpion. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, that talk about popping hard. I mean, the crowd was clearly loving it. I'm loving it at home. Giddy as hell. Gonna be an amazing match. And the best part about this, Punk and MJF never touch the entire match.
Yeah.
So we still are desperate as hell. Even after we got this spectacular match, we're still desperate to watch CM Punk and MJF wrestle.
Yeah.
What a match, Jerry. What are your thoughts here?
Oh, I just got to tell you, man. And because MJF he wasn't in the ring that much, but man, I got to tell you, I love watching FTR, man. This tag team, they are so good. Oh my God. I mean, I feel like I'm watching early 2000s tag team. Like it's almost like they're Back to the Future. I mean, they're back.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Dog is eating cat food.
Oh well, they're
so good. They're the tag team. The game in AEW is so high. I mean, Lucha Brothers, FTR, all these guys, they're so good. These tag teams are spectacular.
Yeah.
And FTR is just so good. And then if you just add in the smarminess of MJF wrestling style, just works so great.
Yeah.
And then add in a 62-year-old man who apparently his prime never ended, Jerry.
I mean,
his prime never ended.
Sting,
the guy is out there wrestling like a champ.
Yeah.
He throws MJF out of the ring in one of the scariest spots I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I thought MJF was going to land straight on his head. Somehow he got his hand down at the very last second, but I thought he was straight landing.
Yeah, I did too.
I thought we were like, oh my God, this is when we see MJF died. But then and then next thing you know, Sting is flying through the air. And, into the rafters. Down on team MJF.
I mean, I know Tony was a little nervous. I was nervous. I think all of us were nervous. Sting.
I think the only guy who wasn't nervous was Sting.
It was like, whoa, like, what are you doing? Don't do this. Do not do this.
He's called, I am giving my body to wrestling, my dude. I love wrestling, and I can still do this. And I think that this is what he's saying. He's saying, I can still do this at a high level when the stakes matter. And I think that anything, this is just a little shout out to saying, we need to do this match out there. I know you're watching. Dead man, wherever you are.
Ooh.
I knew everybody out there knows it. You know it. I know it. I can still do it.
You've been wanting this super card. You've been wanting this super card idea for a really long time.
Tell me this is the matchup we hit. Everybody who has been a fan of wrestling has wanted for the last 30 years. The icon of WCW, the icon of WWE. And somehow they never wrestled one time.
Not one time.
I don't care about who wins or loses. Honestly, I want them to go to a 60-minute draw and they both die at the end. Both men dead in the ring. That's the way it should end, Jerry.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, seriously, in all seriousness, I mean, I would, the idea that, yes, I mean, he is saying that I can still do this. I mean, maybe not often. I can do it a few times a year, but I can still do it.
Yeah.
And what a match. I love the no sell on the DDT from MJF was amazing. So much good stuff. This is Sting or CM Punk's first tag match. I kind of forgot how entertaining he is in tag matches. How much he runs the ropes and tries to get the fans pumped up. And you know, he is like super entertaining in a tag. And some of the stuff Darby did. That very first suicide dive onto all three.
Oh my gosh.
That was so good. The smack of that impact was incredible.
This match was so well done. It was fun. It was just so much fun.
Just all the way through 30 minutes of just pure joy and fun. And then we got an amazing finish. All three finishing moves from the baby faces and a big win. And then MJF grabbing the mic. I love it.
He ran for me all night.
He ran for me all night. He's so scared of me. I love it's just so good. I mean, he is just the best heel working.
Kudos. Those 6 men really put on a show, man. Kudos to those guys.
So I didn't talk about it before, but you know, so we're getting Rampage. And one of the matches was promoted by Matt Hardy talking for his boy Marquand. Talking about pounding Jungle Boy's ass.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
pound that ass.
Yeah. I'm like, oh,
what are we talking about here? Is this a wrestling match?
Can I just say it? I think
with guys,
the Hart family office stable, I don't really, it's so
Hardy
random.
Family office.
Yeah, the Hardy family. Sorry, the HFO. Like, I don't get it. It just seems like a very weird.
It's real bad.
I think that stable needs to be broken up a little bit.
Probably just see the Hardy Boys before too long. So,
well, did Jeff Hardy just pull a fake out?
He's claiming he didn't. He says that he took drug tests after the day after whatever. He says they're going to show that he's going to say he's like they're clean. I'm clean. I mean, there are also I've heard all sorts of things. People have said that he is in just horrific pain all the time.
I bet.
They say that he literally ices his back constantly. I wouldn't know why, considering he's done about 8,000 swanton bombs through tables and everything else known to mankind in his career.
I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him wrestle again.
You don't think so?
I don't. I'm not right now. Not right now. I just don't want to see him.
I hope for his health.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I want. I want the guy to be healthy.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is clearly very, very hard on your body.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that professional wrestling is hard on your body. It has a limited shelf life.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, if you can do, yes, the stingers out there are few and far between. He also has taken long breaks, and you know, even when he continued to wrestle into his more aged years, it was on a very limited schedule.
Yeah.
And he took care of himself. You know, so just hope the best for him. Hope the best for Mox. Hope for the best for all these guys if they're in struggles, you know.
Yeah.
We you know, anybody out there.
Yeah.
I'm talking to anybody.
Yeah, especially this time of the year. I know we say it a lot on the show.
Tough.
You know, if you need help, don't be afraid to reach out. You know, the pride can get in the way, especially for guys.
I know. We're tough. We're not hurt. Nothing hurts. We're, you know.
Yeah.
Everything.
Reach out.
Stuff hurts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hurts your
Like
heart, hurts your mind, hurts your soul.
yeah, we're talking about, Jeff and his health and having to ice his back, but for a lot of us, sometimes it's our mind, right?
Yes.
And
Yes. Without a doubt.
yeah, don't run from that. Like, get help, reach out.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It's a big Christmas day coming, Jerry.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome wrestling presents we're getting.
AEW's giving us man,
So we
I
get
can't wait.
Mark 1 and Giant Jungle Boy, Layla
Yeah.
Hirsch and Chris Statlander.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Hook and Bear Bronson.
Oh yeah.
Cold-hearted Hook in his second match. And then we're getting the Cody Rhodes Sammy Guevara championship match for the TNT title.
I feel like that. I think they're gonna bring it. I think that match is gonna be
it's gonna be a really good match. And
Yeah.
I think Cody's gonna win. But then Cody's gonna job the belt to somebody pretty fast, I think.
Yeah.
Gonna work out to be a pretty quick transitional title run, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
The old Codester.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be good things. Good things.
Yes, indeed, my friend.
Alrighty, guys. Well, why don't you all smash that subscribe button, drop the top rope elbow on the like.
Yep.
Leave us some comments. Hit us up on the Twitter.
Hit us up.
There's mine. You see it there?
Yeah, pull it. There we go. There we go.
Oh, there
I
we
need to do something for where I can have a sign for the @4Life
Write it on
Wrestling.
an envelope, Jerry. That's all you gotta do. Write it on an envelope.
Yeah. But
yeah, drop us a comment. Hit us up. Talk to us.
enjoy the holidays, folks.
Have a wonderful and safe holiday. Be careful out there. There's nothing but crazy people driving around drunk. So
yeah,
take an Uber, take a taxi, be safe. Call somebody if you need them.
Yep.
And reach out. Everybody have a safe holiday.
Peace out, everybody.
Marked for life.
Yes.